Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Trendz Travel. On the show this week, we treat our palace to a gastronomic experience with garden-to-table delectables. Our cameras set off to Kigali, Rwanda to celebrate phenomenal artists from across the continent. We come back home to journey through the city of gold, Johannesburg, experiencing new attraction spots on the toll bus. You'd be forgiven for thinking that this is a warehouse, when in fact is a restaurant. The beauty of this dining spot is hidden behind this retail space, encapsulating a foodie destination. As you step outside, you are greeted by a beautiful organic aroma from the garden.
Culinary Table was established in 2013. And it was basically to bring the highest possible quality of ingredients that chefs would choose into an environment that was extremely accessible to everyday diners. So Culinary Table's food philosophy is freshness, high quality, and an ever-changing menu. But that's also quite casual in a way that we have diners that come almost every day and they don't get bored of the menu. They don't find that it's out of price range. They are quite comfortable in this environment, and we love that.
Tell us a bit about your garden. How did that come about? And also, what inspired the idea of saying, you know what, from the garden straight to the table?
To the food, yeah. So the garden around us is actually designed very similarly on my parents' kitchen garden at home. And that was an environment where obviously fundamental lessons were learned in the kitchen and in the processing of vegetables. So I grew up as that weird kid with strange things in her lunchbox, basil pesto, which we had literally harvested fresh and processed as a family. And that was our weekend activity. That was fun for us. We'd make lasagna and we'd bottle them and preserve them and save them for later. So from a young age, food and taking cognizance of how long something takes to grow, the appreciation of every step before it even lands up as an ingredient, really. Converting it from something almost unrecognizable in a garden to something that's totally edible is quite honestly just something that I've grown up with. So it's a passion, really, more than anything else.
Not everything you enjoy on your meal may come straight from this garden, but definitely each dish has an ingredient from it.
So I like to reflect the surroundings and the season in the food that we prepare. So we've had an ever-changing menu from the start. Call it a compulsive need to change or whatever the case may be, but the garden is our absolute pivot point. So I like to prioritize an ingredient that we can harvest from the garden, even if it's something basic like a carrot or an onion. If they are available from the garden and we have a use for them in the kitchen, that takes precedent. So we will always make a preference for what we can harvest or what we can even source from a trusted and known farmer that's doing something very similar in a sustainable fashion. So even something simple that you might overlook, like a garnish, has been grown in the garden. That sprig of coriander that freshens up the curry at just before plating is actually something that we've intentionally grown and cultivated. We make sure that it's fresh and that it gets used basically on the same day that it's harvested. And that for me is everything, because it just tastes so much better. You really can taste it in the food, and that's important.
Okay. And tell us about your different menus. You just said your menus change every week.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. So look, it's not a complete overhaul, and like I said, we've got regular customers, so there are favorites on our menu that keep people coming back, and we like to keep those consistent. However, there are abundances and scarcities that take place in nature, and so we mirror that with the menu. I'd say that about 60% of the menu gets refreshed, and then we have about a 40% staple. So again, we like to offer things that are quite accessible to people. Something wholesome like a burger or a lovely curry really hits the spot. And so those are your regular contenders. But then, for example, we'll have proteins, and I also like to offer a nice variety. So we have a selection of proteins that are available on the menu, and then the accompaniments and the sauces are completely refreshed on a weekly basis. And simplicity is key for me. I strive towards simplicity with great effort, and I don't believe that it's actually easy to obtain. Sometimes you have to try and harness the essence of ingredients rather than try and overcomplicate things. So we definitely have a much more simple approach to food. The less you have to do to something, the better. And in that way, people can appreciate whole food, they can appreciate things as close to the origin that they started as possible, and then have the guaranteed freshness of things being grown in their surroundings whilst they're eating it.
Well, their dessert menu and drinks are also inspired by the garden.
Because again, with organic produce and things that you grow, you learn to appreciate that there's more than just the fruit on a tree or the root of the vegetable itself that you're growing, that there are carrot tops that are totally edible, and then there are blossoms from plants that are also edible, and maybe the lesser known things can in some way contribute towards a flavor component. And I feel like mixology and pastry are two areas where the extraction of flavor is really prominent in the processing that you would use. So things like creating syrups, doing quick fermentations, incorporating an ingredient that's basically in its essence, a flour that you shake into a cocktail is really exactly mind-blowing. I mean, the reaction on your face tells me exactly that. So, we don't take that for granted. So things like geranium, it's used as a companion plant, for example, as a pest deterrent in the garden. But it's got this incredible herbaceous flavor. It's almost marshmallowy in a way, and it's an incredible botanical that's edible and delicious.
Truly, when you have passion for food like myself, you will enjoy every little detail and flavorsome ingredient.
The best in the game are out here, right here in Kigali, to celebrate music, authenticity, creativity, and the beautifulness that is, of course, African music. We're here to celebrate with them, and I'm here to obviously give you the lowdown and celebrate all those that are winning all these categories. You don't want to miss it, but Trendz, I always got you. So we're here to celebrate the best in African talent, music. Why is it? And you're always someone who's always under doing the ones and twos and showcasing the best in music. What are you looking forward to tonight?
I'm looking forward to a wide variety of African music.
Yeah.
We're celebrating African music. We're celebrating excellence. We're celebrating top performers in those categories. We're here to collect awards on people's behalf who are not here or who are being excellent wherever they are. So yeah, man, we're here to celebrate and we're here to collect.
Who are you rooting for?
Everyone who's South African, everyone who's worked hard, everyone who's nominated. Yeah, man, that's who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for my industry friends, my colleagues. Robot Boys out here, KO and Blackie are performing. So I think I saw Kabza and Pori nominated somewhere. So those are my industry colleagues, and I'm here to celebrate them.
Yeah, I've been following African music for a while now, and I'm so excited to see this. I think it's by time we come together and unite like this, and I'd love to see more of this happen. It's time for Africa right now, and I feel very blessed to be here. And yeah, man, just excited.
So it's a big night for creativity and celebrating music. Who are you rooting for tonight?
Definitely Rema. I really enjoy his music, but also there are a lot of up-and-coming Rwandan artists a lot of them are nominated tonight, so I'm really excited for them to have a global stage to present their art to the world.
This is the very first Trace Awards happening in 2023, and some of us are honored enough to be the first nominees. Yeah, and of course, I mean, we had big moments. Sete,
Best male?
yeah. I mean, it's quite an honor just being here, and especially after so many years. And you know what I mean, we're still getting these type of recognitions. It's crazy.
It's a big one because then it basically says you are the best in the continent if you get to win best male. What's that feeling like? I mean, surely you're doing something right. Is it another step to say, actually, I am the boss?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think more than anything, just being nominated in that category amongst others, of course, that are like, some of the blockbuster ones. I think that pool, it's a very star-studded. I mean, there's Bernard, there's the Beto, there's Rayma, Asaki, all these other guys have been crazy, and then boom, KO is in there. It's crazy. But I think for me, just a nod is enough. And if they decide to give me the trophy as well, I'll obviously receive it with both hands and feet. But yeah, I mean, I'm just happy. God has been great in my life for so many years, and may He continue doing the same for not only me but for South African music as a whole.
I'm nominated for a dance category. So it's like being acknowledged is also a cool thing because I'm not just representing me, I'm representing South Africa, and everybody back home, like from all the other dancers I've been dancing with from different studios to the small boy that's watching, thinking one day I can also start dancing and be nominated at like a Trace Award. It's very amazing.
I know I'm representing for Africa, I'm representing for East Africa, I'm representing for my country, Uganda, Kampala. So yes, it's a good opportunity and I'm so humbled. And even if I don't win tonight, I already feel like a winner, being part of, such great artists. And you can see the energy around here. I just feel so, blessed enough.
It is a blessing to be here celebrating Trendz and celebrating Africa. Got a chance to be nominated and to represent my country, Uganda, in the category of Best Gospel Artist of the Year. And also I'm performing tonight. I can't wait to preach the gospel to the whole world.
I'm so excited to represent South Africa, man, my home.
And there's so many other artists that are nominated in the same category as you that respect you so much. What is your take on how people feel that you're one of the trailblazers that opened the doors to kickstarting and making this genre as strong as it is in the continent?
It's crazy, for me to just come here and actually meet with some Ugandan guys and they say, we look up to you. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, you guys follow my music? And they say, we look up to you. And then some of them are in the same category that I'm actually nominated in. And they were just saying, even if you win, we are all winning.
Congratulations to the nominees, and to whosoever that is not going to get it. I'm saying congratulations also to them because they are the best. Even if you're not going to get an award, you need to understand, just for you to get that nominee, it shows that you are amazing.
Dash, obviously, we know for your dad was very prolific in the space of Kwaito music. How do you feel about the fact that finally platforms like this are coming out and really giving more light to other categories and genres of music?
I think it's dope, man, and more especially for us because piano to Africa, piano to the world. So it's dope for Trendz to recognize talents from all over Africa and also giving chance to new genres and stuff. You know what I mean? I think it's dope. It's beautiful.
What inspired you to create these awards?
It's very simple. The excellence of African music and the fact that all music of black region have got one origin. This is Africa. And there was no event like this. You will have different regional event awards, but bring all these people, all this diversity, this richness of African music in one place. This didn't exist. We wanted to make it happen. This is tonight the first time ever, not the last one.
Why Rwanda? Why not South Africa?
You're right. It could have been South Africa, but in fact, Rwanda came to us. They said, look, we want to make Kigali a cultural hub. We like to organize a big music event. We believe that you are the best partner, and we discussed and we agreed on terms. So we are business people. On top of that, they've got great infrastructure.
Our country is small, but we dream big, right? So Trendz coming here, I think it's because they recognize our openness to work with other people, and because we're trying to expand as a country, grow as a country. It's quite small, but we're on the come up. So yes, I'm very excited that it's happening here in Rwanda.
Apparently, it's the first time they host a big event like this. So they're going to learn a lot. We're going to take something back home from the different countries, different artists. It's a blessing to us.
I think it just says a lot about the future of Africa, and I think it's about time that we actually just become comfortable enough to constantly move around the continent and just exchange the energy and exchange the vision and uplift ourselves, because we can't wait for the world to actually come and shine the light on us. We can only take ourselves, to the world, or at least, build this camaraderie amongst each other as Africans and take each other to the world.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. Well, okay, so obviously Davido's performing, right? Can you give us a what's cooking?
Guys, the video's going to be shutting it down inside there. I hope you're ready to see the show, guys.
Yes. As part of the many great activities that are taking place at this festival and awards is a concert, of course. And Obviously, we can't have a concert without the Soweto Gospel Choir. I mean, what do you mean? And they're here with us.
Yes, in the house in Rwanda. We are so happy to be here. We're going to be having a concert with Benjamin Dube tomorrow. And tonight, we are performing with Mr. Easy. Wow. So please, guys, watch out. It's going to be a great, great show.
How did that partnership come about, Mr. Easy? Soweto Gospel Choir. Who tlile yang?
Waiting one year, so Kauri Soweto Gospel Choir, ibina ka dilangwe tse ngata wa bona. So Mr. Easy, I think o khaletse sethu se sa rona wa bona. Baba boom ele wa bona. So yeah, akupa collaboration wa bona. So we sing in isiZulu and our other African languages, Marena ibina ka Sekgowa. So Nigeria versus South Africa, yaba bomb.
I think we need a tutorial, another one again of how to do this thing. Mara, yeah, okay, get ready.
Right,
Right,
left, head, body, and then I get a salary ching, get the chankuras, and then
No.
life cover,
No.
medical aid, body charge.
Honestly, what do you need for real?
Sanbanani, this is KO, Mr. Cash Time, all the way from South Africa. And right now you're watching Trendz live. Let's get it.
Refer for monyana mo about what's gonna be happening. Kore ngfeng bye nyana ya sang.
No.
Okay. Wathinta thina wathinta bangasokusa saphendukishe bo wathinta thina wathinta bangasokusa saphendukishe bo wathinta thina wathinta bangasokusa saphendukishe bo wanyaka simkhodo wekonyane kanyane kanyaka simkhodo wekonyane kanyane
Wow, but trendy.
City Sightseeing in Soweto, renowned leaders in the transportation and tourism industry hosted an event at the prestigious FNB Stadium. This event marks a significant moment in the journey of transformation and growth, highlighting new routes and bus stops. On the way to the main event, we went on an exciting and thrilling city tour that captures every element and landscape that leaves one in awe of the magnificent city of gold.
So what we're basically doing today is that since the pandemic, we decided to restructure our routes and create something different from our customers. Because we're still saying the customer that we had pre-pandemic can come back again with new offerings. So between stop 2 and stop 4, which is Melrose Arc, Mandela Foundation, Mandela Sanctuary, and the house that he stayed with Grash Masham. Those are the new elements we've added into the route when it comes down to the early part of the route. If you look at, since we've had the Joburg gas explosion, we've had to redivert the route again. So now, when we go through Bromfontein, we actually get into the double-decker highway and drive on top of the highway, and then we can see the whole city of Johannesburg toilets, which is really, really nice picturesque moment for our customers to be able to take pictures of. Then when you arrive at Gold Reef City, you hop into the Soweto bus, right? As you can see, the Soweto bus is not the double-decker bus. It's a lot smaller. It's a lot more, like I said, we call it buses Sigi Pigo because you can literally put your arm out or shower more. When you get into Soweto, our first stop en route to Soweto is Soccer City. And within Soccer City, you find this amazing gem called the Hall of Fame.
Out of all 3 new routes we explored, the one that is on the spotlight is the South Africa's Hall of Fame exhibition, which aims to celebrate and educate tourists about Mzansi's sports legends.
Yeah, we portray all the South African Hall of Famers that have been inducted into the South African Hall of Fame, the achievements they've had. So we celebrate these people that have been inducted so that we can inspire our youth and so that we can empower them to holistically reach their full potential.
So within the Hall of Fame, it tells the story of all the great Jogeri players, your baby chick matalas and everything else. And it's also got quite a nice interactive space into it, so you can literally put on VR classes and you're literally almost like surfboarding and things like that. So it gives you a little touch point of the history of all the great players, but also something great for the young kids to be able to interact with.
It's my first time being in the Hall of Fame, and I have to say it's mind-blowing. Going around the room and just searching the place, it's just so, it's very inspiring. I mean, you see all these amazing athletes, stars who, open ways and path and created path for other people who are coming, making their way through. I mean, with the fact that Springbok is playing right now, places like Hall of Fame, they play a big part, because then in 20 years, we're going to forget these moments. But guess what? You come back here and you see all of that.
It's part of what brand South Africa and destination Gauteng as part of the main gateway to the rest of the country is all about. So it's not just the experience. Part of our experience is intertwined with the people. And the Hall of Fame is an epitome of the toils and jubilation that our people as stars in their own right went through.
Out of all the days, you choose today to actually introduce the new routes. Is it because October is Transport Month, or there's a World Cup taking place? Why now?
Tourism, transport, and sports. What a combination, and a combination that truly represents South Africa and is offering its people, its facilities, its infrastructure, and it doesn't get bigger than that.
What happens in tourism is that you have an off-season, which is called, you have an on-season and off-season. So there's peak season. So our brochures usually start from the 1st of October till the end of end of April. That is our peak season. Then your winter season, which is your off-peak, starts from May up until the end of until the end of September. That's our off-season. So we're changing our brochures, we're adding our different values. We changed the routes 3-4 times in the last year, but we've actually finally concretely found a route that actually works for us, and hence reason we're launching it within Tourism Month. But because you must remember, we're not just a tourism company, we're a transport company. We transport people from one place to another.
That's it for today, travelers. Catch us again next week when we plug you with more travel and leisure time ideas.